Folks, welcome back to the Bobby Bo Show. Here's the moves. It starts with d4, knight f6. It's the Indian game. Now bishop to g5, and I'm going to take this knight and double up their pawns if they don't move their pawn forward. So now e6, and the knight is now pinned to the queen. And I'll continue with c4, my normal opening here. I want to play the knight to c3, but I don't want to block the pawn, so I'll play c4 first. And now bishop to b4, checking my king. I'll block with the knight, and if they take, it'll double up my pawns, but that's okay, because I'll have another support on the pawn in the middle. They castle, and I play e4, taking control of the center here. Knight is pinned, so it's not defending the pawn, but their knight is also pinned, so it's not attacking the pawn. Now h6 to attack my bishop, and if I go back here, now they have g5, attacking my bishop, and when I go to g3, then they take my pawn here, so I'll just take their knight, and after the queen takes back, now I'll play knight to f3, trying to finish development and castle. Now c5, striking forward at the center, trying to break my center up, and do I take here? Do I push? Well, apparently if I push or take, then the bishop takes here with check, and then I take back with the pawn, and then the queen takes with check, and then I get forked here, right? Or I can block with the knight, maybe. That's losing a pawn, right? Boom. 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 And this is -2. Now knight to a6. And this is losing. These pawns are going down, probably. And this pawn's weak. I'm not developed. So that would be bad. The best move, a3. Attacking the bishop now. And bishop captures c3 is the best move. But they make a mistake and capture the pawn here. And now what's the best move? Take the bishop, take with the knight, take with the queen, push the pawn. Well, you're supposed to take the bishop here. And then after they take your knight, now you play e5. You have to play e5 to attack the queen. And then after queen to f4, now you take the pawn back and you're more developed. They only have their queen developed. Their bishop and knight are back here. You're about to castle. Even material, you can defend this pawn. If they play something like knight to c6, well, now it's getting a little bit worse for them. Your advantage is going slightly up. You just play g3 now. Queen has to move, and you're finishing development here. So taking the bishop is the best. e5 is also second best. It maintains a slight advantage or an even game. But I played knight captures d4, thinking I didn't want this whole business. And if the bishop takes the knight here, then the pawn takes back, and now I have a knight defended by a pawn in the middle. So I figure that's good. But no, it's not that good. They take the knight, I take back with the pawn, and now they should play b6. And I'm guessing maybe they're targeting the middle pawn? I don't know. But instead of b6, they play d5. And I figured that's great. Now my pawns are doubled up, and I can fix this problem just by taking the pawn. After takes, they check. And I need to block with the bishop here, so I can castle. But I don't know what I was thinking. I blocked with the queen. For some reason, I thought they were going to trade queens here. But they just take the pawn here. Even game still, though. But I need to finish development. And my queen is in front of my king, and they're about to play rook to e8 and pin me. So I wasted a little bit of time when I could have developed and castled, and I'm hurting right now a little bit because of that. Now queen to f3, getting out of the way of my bishop, and after rook to e8 check, I block with the bishop. And now they decide to trade queens, and I can't take back with the bishop because it's pinned to the king, so I have to take back with the knight or double up my pawns. And now they have to get their bishop and knight out. So knight to d7. And now if I castle, my bishop's no longer defended, and I want to castle, but also there's no more queens on the board. We're getting low on pieces, low on pawns. It's basically an endgame. So I'm thinking maybe the king has to start coming out towards the middle. An active king in the endgame wins the game. So instead of castling, I just go king to d2, right? And then get my rooks out. And then it's okay because there's no queens. But I can just play knight to d4 and defend the bishop and then castle and my king's safe. And after king to d2, I'm actually in trouble. Because now they have knight to c5. And I'm seeing the issue. Two threats here. First of all, knight to e4, forking the king and the pawn. And knight to b3, forking the king and the rook. So I have that threat to worry about, and if my king steps away, then they take my bishop. So I'm in trouble now, and I have to find the right move. And I do not. I play bishop to b5. And I figure, okay, danger levels here, attacking the rook. And once they move their rook, then I move my king, and then we have no problems, right? But no, knight to b3 check. And after my king moves, I can't go over here, because the rook's there, and if I go here, then the rook just checks me, and then they take my rook anyway. So I have to go here, and then they take with check. And that's an exchange. And we're losing. But they don't find it. They play bishop to d7. And I saw the mistake, so I was very happy with this. And I immediately took the bishop. They took with their knight. And now rook from a to e1. Trying to go for a trade here and control the open file. But they play rook a to d8. Getting their rook in front of my king. I play knight to d4, blocking it, and this is a good knight, defended by a pawn, can't be attacked by a pawn, so a very good knight there. And now knight to c5. And we have more threats of checks. Gotta keep that in mind. I play f3, blocking the knight from coming forward. They play a6, and that stops my knight from coming forward. And now we trade rooks. And then I bring the other rook to b1. This pawn's currently defended, but that also locks down the knight. And now they play g6, starting to move the kingside pawns down. I play rook to b6. I figured the rook's more active here, blocking the pawn from moving forward, keeping the attack, and also attacking these pawns. So I figured better to have it over here, as long as it doesn't get trapped or anything. And now rook to e7, adding another defender to the pawn here, so that the knight can maybe move later. I play g4. Not really sure what to do here, but I can just move my pawns down the board. And king to f8. Now h4, getting my other pawn down the board. And king to g7. Seems like both of us are just kind of waiting for the other one to make a move here. I'm just trying to slowly inch my pawns down the board. But now I realize that I almost have a fork here. And I am thinking about playing h5 right here to try to get that fork. They'll probably see it, but I'm thinking about it. But first I play rook to b1. And I think I want to be able to get my rooks behind these pawns if we break stuff up over here. So I think that's why I brought my rook back. I'm not exactly sure about that. And now they play king to f6, trying to get the king active and in the game here. But I noticed that a lot of the king's moves are very restricted here. These pawns are blocking these squares. The knight's blocking these squares. And if I go rook to b6 check, the king's only move is either back or forward here. And I don't see anything coming of it, but I feel like the king is not in a great spot there. And I can't really see anything yet, but I play rook to b6 check. And apparently king e5 is a draw, but so is king g7. They just go back. I guess they didn't like the look of it. And now I decide to go for h5, hoping that they'll either take or push. And then I'll get the fork here. But they see it. They play rook to d7, pinning my knight to the king. But now they're no longer blocking this file off, so that allows my king to move up the board a little bit. First I play h captures g6, and after they take back, now I play king to e3. They play g5, stopping my king from coming forward. But here I should just play f4. And I should be trying to walk my king down in front of this pawn and make some progress here, apparently. But instead I play knight to f5 check. And this is also a slight advantage still. And I'm hitting this pawn now. King has to step away. King goes to f8. But also now they have rook to d3 check. And they would win a pawn here. So I'm looking at that. And I'm thinking about either going back to d4 here, or figuring out if I can somehow make a little bit more progress by playing rook to d6. Offering the rook trade here. And I'm attacking this pawn still. And after the rook trade, I'll be attacking this pawn. So they have to find the right moves here. And after we trade rooks, they have to go over here to defend the pawn. If they play something like b5, then knight to f5, and I'm taking this pawn. But now they have knight to d7. And after I take the pawn, they have knight to e5. And after king e4, knight c4, knight f5, I lose the a pawn, and we have an even game where they have two pawns on the outside here. I have my king next to these two pawns, and we're going to be able to stop each other's promotions, so it's going to end in a draw. So it turns out b5 is the best move here, and they played king g7, and that's actually apparently losing, or plus 1.27 for white, if I play c4. Oh my gosh, because I'm probably taking this pawn and walking down the king and the pawn, right? Let's see, c4. Is this completely winning? King g6 or h5? King g6. Can I take here? No, the knight's defending that still. Knight's defending. We gotta move the knight up. King here. Knight d4 attacking the king d4 attacking the knight. Oh, engine keeps going up. So I would have won. I could have won. The evaluation said it was drawn the whole time, but apparently if I play the right moves, it goes up to winning. The engine just has a hard time seeing the depth, I think. But I had a winning endgame, I think. b6 here. b6, defending the knight. Now king to d5, and we're breaking through. h5. G captures h5, and I'm just going to promote first. King c6, and they can't stop this. Knight a4, knight a4 it says, defending the pawn. Okay, yeah. Knight c8, attacking the pawn. Knight c3. Can I take this now? Okay, not the worst. Wait, knight, wait, yeah, that's the best, okay. Knight b1. Attacking my pawn. But we're going down, right? Can we go down? No, we gotta do this first, okay. I do that first. Knight d2. Attacking my pawn now. Okay, I see what's going on. But it's too late. I'm just getting out of the way and I'm pushing the pawn now. Knight captures to f3. c5. e4. Boom. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Whoa, I almost threw again. I have to do knight c4. Oh my gosh, the knight has to go back. This is an intense endgame. I would lose this puzzle. Oh my gosh, I had a winning endgame, but I would not have done it. And now the knight defends here. And they go knight to h2 apparently. But you can't stop this. Knight g4. What are they trying to... They're just trying to, like, get there. Oh, am I going to lose again if I push this? c7? Nope. Knight to e3. Oh no, my knight. Oh, that's a draw too. There's so many ways to lose this game. Oh my gosh. This is a draw because if I promote, then it's a bing, and now they're getting this. So if I do this, then they have to... Oh my gosh. There's so many ways to throw this game. That throws it too. King c5. Oh, we have to go here. And then, because we have to stop the knight from coming forward or checking us. And then king h4. And then we promote. And then queen g8. Nice. And then knight g4. And then boom. King g3. And then queen to b8. Queen to b8? Wait, where's queen to b8? Oh, okay, or c3. Or a1. How about a1? Yeah, a1, right? Nope. I mean, maybe, but let's do this first. Boom, boom. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we could somehow stop that. I don't really care. Let's go back. Where were we? Okay, we traded rooks. They played king to g7. And if I play c4, it leads to a winning endgame. But what did I do? I played king to d4. And I think this actually leads to a winning endgame too. This might still be winning. Knight to b3 check. King to d5. Okay. Wait, king to d5. I played king to e5. And that's worse. Oh, king e5 is a draw. Because I was trying to go here and then save the pawn, but I need to just be going for this. And I'm first. They're last. But now it doesn't work. Oh my gosh. Now it's a draw. Because now I can't save these pawns. And look how this goes. It was so close. Now I'm defending the pawn and I want to like get the king over there somehow. And now, okay, now it's like knight trade. Boom, check. We trade knights. And then I'm thinking maybe I can get the king over here. But look how it goes down. There's just not. It's just not there. I defend the pawn here. I have to go back to defend the pawn. Otherwise, they're going to promote. And now they... this would be trouble if they had any other moves. But they can only move their king here. And if their king goes here, then I go like here. And if their king goes back or whatever. So they have to move their pawn. And then take the pawn. We trade pawns. And then I run it over here. And it almost looks like I could win it here. Because I'm up a pawn and I can promote, but they can get their king into the middle. There's no way for me to stop them from getting their king into the middle here. And once their king is, or into the corner, once their king is in the corner, then there's no way to stop. Or there's no way to get the promotion because they can just stay in the corner here like this. And if I step away, they take the pawn. I can't go forward or anything. And if I go here, now it's their move and they don't have any legal moves. So it's stalemate. So it's a draw. And that's how we drew. 91% accuracy for both players according to the game review. And I think I had a winning endgame there. But I need to brush up on my endgames. Are y'all good at endgames? Let me know in the comments section. Smash like button if you want to see me get better at endgames. Thanks for watching the Bobby Bo Show. Have an excellent rest of your day.